All right, we're back with the Home Service Legends podcast, and I'm joined with my lovely co-host Shaun, who is not only joining us today and this week, but he's also the head of our sales team here at Legendary in Melbourne. Welcome.
Thank you, Mitch. Finally on.
Yeah, it's finally on. I mean,
How good does it look?
We're only one podcast deep, so like it's early days.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things go from here. But ultimately today, Shaun, I wanted to get your perspective on something kind of interesting. Like, as you know, and as we can share with the rest of the community, we consistently allow people to come through our business and see what we're doing here. If you want to, get in touch with us, there's a booking link. If you guys want to come and check out what we're doing here, look at our training center, look at our business, look at how ServiceTitan runs within our company. We're very, very much an open business that's happy to help anyone. But in doing that, it's connected us with a lot of other business owners, right?
Yep.
And one of the things that I think has been super eye-opening and super interesting is there's kind of like the way I see it is, the way I've seen it so far is there seems to be some levels to this thing, right? And those levels are sub $1 million. A lot of guys just can't get past that level, right? It's like level 1.
Yep.
Level 2, you kind of is in the $1 to $3 million mark, maybe even get it to 5, probably 1 to 3 though. And then from there, you're almost at like 3 to 10. Because I think once you get towards the 5 mark, you're kind of getting to the place where it's like, if you can get to 5, you can get to 10.
Yep.
And then if you can get to 10, you can probably get to 20, right? And we're talking about $1 million. But a lot of guys are kind of let's say stuck. I think that's a word, but they're getting in a loop at like around 3 million.
Yep.
Would you agree?
100%.
And kind of wanted to get your 2 cents on this today, but I think there's like a couple of pillars, a couple of things that really cause this loop to happen.
Yep.
And I've kind of structured this session today around the idea that you are dressing for the business that you have, not the business that you want. And I think a lot of businesses are doing that. And I think that's, if we want to share the fundamentals of how we broke through that barrier.
Yep.
I think it's that you've got to get your business into a place where you act as if, right? You act as if you're doing 10 million. If you act as if you're doing 10 million, chances are it's like
you're
a little bit like, what was that book, The Secret? It's kind of like that sort of idea that you almost to some degree manifest it, but you don't have to manifest it in a mental way. You can manifest it in a physical way, right? If you get a bigger building, you're going to grow, right? You're going to grow into that building. If you get if you get more technicians on the road, more work's going to come in, right? If you do things right, that law would say that you're going to continue to rise up and grow the business.
Correct. Because you're forced to.
Yeah, you have no choice. You have no choice. You've got to continue to grow. And I think that's where people get stuck, right? They're like in the minutiae of doing the business every day. And, if you're one of those guys that's like, that's me. I'm in between 1 to 3 million. You're probably in this weird place where it's not really weird, but it's like just a spot where you're like, oh, how am I going to get out of this? I need a boost to kind of get me out of it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple of things that create that boost, that springboard. And one of them would be working out the structure within your business. Things like, if you've got someone answering the phones, are they just answering the phones or are they the CSR?
Yeah.
And is the CSR working adjacent to the DSR? Like, did you split those roles properly so that as you grow, this person can answer a lot of phone calls while this person books in the jobs. Or moves the board around?
Yeah.
What do you think about like those kind of fundamental shifts?
Yeah, I think especially forcing too much into
one area.
area.
People are getting there like they're expecting to grow, where they've got like one lady working in the office and she's booking and she's
invoicing, doing the whole,
or even the business
Kin-
owner
yeah.
themselves, like they're doing that on their own, he or she,
While
or husband,
on site.
wife, whatever, right? Yeah.
yeah.
And I think you're never going to grow, right?
No, you can't.
It's near impossible to grow when you do everything.
Yeah.
Right? You're like just stuck in this thing, and I think, but I think the fundamental difference is not that like, okay, I'm doing everything, let me put somebody on to take the phones.
Correct.
You have to go deeper than that. Not someone to take the phones. Like, this person books the calls specifically, while this person, they or I am now going to move into the dispatch role. So I am going to be booking in jobs that we've sold in the past. I am going to be taking the orders from the CSR department and going, okay, cool, we need to get, all right, between 12 and 3 today, we need to get to a burst pipe. Let me work out how I can do that. While that person's booking the jobs, they are separate roles, right?
Yep.
And we could talk about that. We could talk about that in depth at a later date, specifically DSRCs. I was talking about it today to someone. I was like, they were trying to understand how those two things work. And I said because they're like, oh, well, the CSR, aren't they looking for appointments? And I'm like, in ServiceTitan, they're not, right? Like in ServiceTitan, they're not looking for separate. They're looking for capacity.
That's right.
Right? They're looking for, do we have the capacity to do the work? Not do we have a specific technician that can do the work? Does the business have the capacity to do the work? It's almost like, I said to them, it's like when someone books online at a restaurant. They booked a table for 6. We just don't know which table yet, right? Like we're not sure where they're going to sit, but we know we've got a table of 6. So like on the day, we're going to get 6 chairs ready and we're going to go, well, what have we got, right? Like the restaurant can...
Could be out the window,
That's
out
right.
the back.
They can hold 100 people, but we don't know what configuration this is going to be in. And it's the same sort of thing. Like the CSR is taking those bookings and getting people on the board. Like we have seats.
Yep.
And now we're going to work out like how we're going to make this happen.
Through urgency, through the type of job.
Yep. And I think the key differentiator here is like that we just didn't just get someone to answer the phone. We got a DSR and CSR role. And sometimes it looks like you start on the phones doing everything. And then you get a CSR in. They answer the phones while you book the calls. And then over time you put a DSR in and then you move on until you can kind of like cross yourself off the org chart, right? And I think on that subject, we want to talk a little bit about what you're doing and just to give everybody a bit of context and background. We historically were a plumbing company, myself and my brother. Shaun came in with his electrical business. We kind of joined forces. And then we had Jesse come in and join us with his handyman business. And it all kind of came together, which was great. But then it wasn't so great, right?
No.
Like what was happening?
Dropped off.
Off. Big time.
Basically 3 businesses within one.
Yeah.
Yep.
You were like running the electrical business.
There was 3 people basically within the same role.
Yeah.
Managing different teams, doing pretty much the same stuff.
Yep.
So it was very difficult.
Which is not ideal.
No.
Which is not ideal at all. You want to make sure that, you don't end up with 3 silos inside the business, which is kind of what we ended up with, right?
Yep.
Technicians were not vibing. They were not feeling good about it. We weren't feeling good about it. It was weird because we didn't intend it to be that way.
No.
It just organically happened that way.
But until you do it, how do you know? So, and yeah.
Yeah. Did you find... I know that was like a tough time, right? Because we kind of like felt like it should be working and it just wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't gelling at all. And I feel like at that particular time, it was an interesting time because I think that started when we were at that like, moving past 2 million, moving into 3, like towards 3. And it dropped off because we weren't we weren't efficient, right? We were doing. It was like you know, answering phones and booking calls. You were running one
Managing
business while we were running
technician.
another business, and then Jesse was running another business.
And they're all operated totally differently,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yep. They're operated totally differently. They weren't working together.
No.
Yeah. So I think that caused like a fair amount of discomfort for us. And I think the way that we solved it is the kind of with the same analogy with the CSR DSR,
Yep.
which is that we realized, 12 months or so ago that what we really should be doing is we should go, hang on, let's run as one business, which immediately felt different. The next day it was different. Even the teams, even though we did nothing, it was the same people.
Everyone felt like one.
Yeah. When we tried to bring everybody in, it was a whole different vibe. Anyway, I think what happened from that is we discovered that, if we work together and we split off and I look after the numbers and try and work on the marketing at that time, because that was like a space we needed filled.
Yep.
You took over the sales training.
Yep.
You worked with, Joe
Sarah.
to build up the sales training. And Jesse went into the technician side of things. All of a sudden, we're dressing for the business we want, right? We've got a sales department. We've got an install department.
Yep.
We've got a marketing department.
Nick in the office.
Nick's in the office doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
We have an office manager who looks after all things, DSR, CSR. They oversee how that team is going. Are we booking enough jobs? Are we, and I think as soon as we did that, we found this sort of harmonious place, right?
Yep.
And, what I think personally, if we looked at the most important things, number one is going to be the getting that part right.
Yep.
Like getting
The
the
foundation.
core foundation right of like, okay, now I'm at 3 million and I can't surpass this. What am I doing wrong? I think you need to make sure that your team is there, right?
Yep.
You need to make sure
People
that
are in the right seats.
people are in the right seats. And like that might happen to you at 5. You might get stuck at 5, right?
Yep.
That could happen anywhere. But fundamentally for me, my opinion is like you need to get started on that process and be like, we need to act as if we're a $10 million business or a $20 million business so that when we grow into that, so we can grow into that.
Yeah.
And so that's the first one, the getting the core of the business set up. The second one I would say was the most important would be the sales.
Yep.
Like, do you want to talk a bit about how have you found that sales process? Because personally, I think not only has average ticket gone up, but conversion rate has gone up, which means one thing, right? Or two things. Profit is going up, which is great.
Yep.
And second of all, conversion rate is going up, which means that customers are happy because we've given them a solution, right?
Yep.
What do you think? What would you say to people that are, at that point where like, don't I need sales training?
I can tell you right now, you need to have some sort of sales training.
Yeah.
For your technicians. You're letting your clients down. You're letting your technicians down if you don't have sales training in place.
Yeah. And then also you're letting down your employees, right?
You are.
Your sales guys, they want to get better. It's like having a gym. This is like a gym where we don't work out.
Yep.
100%. They're not getting any better.
Yep.
And their future and their career kind of is predicated on how much effort you put into your sales team, right?
Yep.
Do you think the guys appreciate the amount of training that goes into it now that they've understood what's the difference between your guys?
Now that we're running the training, at the start everyone's like, oh, why do we need to do this sort of stuff?
Of course.
We're at that level now where majority of technicians out there, if they come into the business and tried to sell at the level that we would, they would struggle. We would see conversion rates drop. You need this type of training at the level we're at. So,
and what Shaun's talking about is at the price level, right?
Yep.
And we're talking about price level because, we are a real plumbing company an electrical company that has to keep the doors open, right?
Yep.
We are acutely aware of what, that we need to, thank you, Ellen Raw, charge more than it costs. And that cost for most people is way higher than you think it would be.
Yep.
Way higher. And, we're not going to talk about price today, but if your bank account is not going up, then you are not charging enough, right? And that's a simple fact that your bank account in your company must be going up. If you're not, this is a disaster waiting to happen. It's dangerous for your staff. It's dangerous for your people. It's dangerous for your team. It's dangerous for your family, for your business. It's dangerous for everybody involved. You really need to make sure that you're factoring that in, right?
Yeah.
So, I would say that, when you talk about, charging at this level, it's like we add a lot of value to our customers. And in order to add that value, it comes at a cost. And it comes at a cost that many customers, many hundreds a week, are thrilled to go ahead with because they feel protected, safe. They feel like they've signed on with the right team. But as you said, the guys have to learn how to sell at that level.
And it's in giving options as well. A lot of companies, they give you one option. They come into the home, they see a broken tap, they'll give you the replacement for that broken tap. All right? That's all they'll give you. Where we look at the complete system.
Yeah.
For anyone coming in, they will basically go out there, try and sell the initial issue that we're called out for, where we'll look at through the home, diagnose the complete system, present the solutions to the client so they know exactly what's going on in their house. Without training, even just for that, you're not going to get your technicians doing that.
No. And they need to see the value. Like, it's a lot of belief, right?
Yeah.
Like, they need to believe in that process. They need to understand that, we say to everybody, or certainly I do when they're coming in, we see a lot in this industry that people are saying, like, we've had people come here and be like, I can't charge. I don't want to rip somebody off, and the reality is, they'll have that kind of opinion, like, I don't want to rip somebody off. And we always say, what is a rip off? When you go into a person's house and they got a 135 litre hot water unit, or whatever it might be, let's call it a 135 litre hot water unit, and you don't ask any questions, right? You see, an elderly couple, or like a, whatever it might be, and couple in their 70s or whatever it might be, right? And they got a 135, and you give them a quote for a 135 unit replacement. To me, and to you, and to the rest of the team now that understands, that's a rip-off, right? That's an absolute rip-off.
Yeah.
Because you didn't ask any questions. Yeah. How many times have we had this where it's like, they've got a 135, and then we go in there and they go, how's the family? What's happening? And they go, we're just about to have grandkids.
It's kids.
And you go,
the family's moving in.
The family's moving in. My daughter's moving in for 6 months, so because she's struggling with, work-life balance or whatever it might be. Or they're moving house, they're moving back from Europe or whatever, and they're moving in.
Yep.
And I go, oh, cool. So you're going from two
people
to 6 people or 5 people here in the house. Oh, they've already got a daughter. This is their second kid. So you're going to 6 people living here. Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, in that case, this is totally the wrong unit for you.
Yep.
Right? Let me do this. Let me give you this unit. Let me give you the 135. Let me give you a 170 so you get a little extra space. And let me give you a 390 or something like that, or an instantaneous or continuous flow. Like, let me give you the options, right?
Yep.
And the amount of times they go,
they still have the 140 at this stage, by the way, people.
Yeah,
the option's still there.
Yeah, they can still
down
do
the bottom of the.
Yeah, it's down the bottom. Like, let's present that as like, if that's what you want, no problems. But did you know that you could get this
or
and did you know, or this, or this, or this? And they go, no. You know what? My husband Bob, he takes a 30-minute shower every day. I only get 5 minutes of hot water as it is.
I've got to wait an hour for it to heat back up.
Yeah, and we go, do you know you can solve that by moving to a continuous flow, or do you know you can solve that by getting a 390 or something that's got a bit more juice to it, a bit more volume?
Yeah.
And they go, where do I sign?
Yeah.
And I go, look, it is $1,000 more, or it's $500 more, or whatever it is, right?
But you're giving them the decision.
And
yeah.
And we like to
You're
double
not
click.
forcing it.
No. And the great thing about our process too is the double check.
Yeah.
Right? I think I'll take the premium. That's
Are you sure?
$5,000 or it's $4,000, whatever it is, right?
Yep.
And we go, are we 100% sure? We have cheaper options. No,
Let me show you.
Yep.
No. That's what we want. Boom.
How often are people choosing the premium?
A lot of the time, like it's a good, depending on the premium, like can be 20 to 30% of the time.
Yeah.
But if you look at the other end of the scales, the economy,
Yep.
you know, that's a bare minimum.
Yep.
10%.
Yeah. So what you're saying
More
is
people
choose the
are
middle.
going through for the mid range.
Yeah.
But if you don't offer it, you're never going to get it, are you?
Yeah. And I think but that's kind of comes back to what we're talking about. Like that's the rip off.
Yep.
You're ripping somebody off when you sell them the unit that they're going to outgrow, right? Like
Yep.
don't make an assumption on behalf of the customer. The tradespeople are terrible with this.
Yep.
They have this desire to like kind of like, you know, go in there with like the blinders on. Like I can
Yep.
only sell them what they have and what they absolutely
I'm
need.
trying to save them money.
Yeah, I'm trying
That
to
is
save
the,
them.
like Uncle Joe says,
Yeah.
leave your mother in the truck.
Yep.
Whatever you know, whatever you think you know, leave it in the truck.
Yep, because it's kind of like one of those things where it's not good advice.
No.
Like if you've got kids on the way and you've got like you need a bigger unit.
Yep.
Like there's no question about it. And if they don't want the bigger unit, they won't get it.
Yep.
But like let them choose.
Choose.
It's their home. And you don't also like this is the other one that drives us bonkers. It's like making the assumption that everybody wants the cheapest bare minimum that they can get.
Yep.
Like the cheapest of cheap. You know,
Yep.
like when I go, and it was actually frustrating, you know, I actually experienced this myself the other day, right? I went to, where was I? Oh, I went to buy runners, right? I'm not a gym guy, but I'm like trying to get back into the gym. I went to buy runners and I said to the guy, what's the best runner? And he goes, well, in terms of like, you know, affordability, these are pretty good. And they were like $60. And I'm staring at a pair that was 300 and
Yep.
thinking like, what's that?
Yep.
Like, is that just like
I asked for the
a
best.
fake number? Do you know what I mean? Like, this
Yeah.
is that just like, and I think that's what our customers are doing now. Like
Yeah.
when somebody comes in and our quote is $1,000 more than someone else, they start, instead of being like, this person's a rip, they
Yeah.
go, what was he offering?
Yep.
What is he offering the $80 runners? Like, what are these? Because I said to him, I said to the guy, I'm like, man, I don't know if you're like commission based. I don't know how your business works here, but like, I asked you what the best runner for me would be.
Yep.
And you immediately chose the cheapest shoe you could find.
Yep.
Like, I said to him,
Budget.
is there any cheaper? And he goes, nah, this is the cheapest. And I went, I don't want that. And imagine if I was the customer and I was like, okay, if you say that's the best,
Yep.
and then I walk out of there in 6 months, I'm like, or not even 6 months, 3 months, I break an ankle because I'm like, the shoe has no padding in it. My foot hurts. My back hurts. I hurt myself in the gym.
Yep.
Like, all because of this guy.
But he
tried to
could have asked, you know, a couple questions.
Didn't ask me anything.
He could have said, what are you using it for?
Yeah.
How long will you be using them for?
Yeah.
Where are you using them?
Yep.
How long do you want to have them? Couple questions.
What
Easy
kind of
questions.
running do you do?
Yep.
What kind of workouts do you do?
Concrete, is it on a treadmill? You know?
But none of that got asked.
No.
And so I think that comes back to this. I know we're kind of like back to the sales, you know, prompt, but I think this is really relevant. Like, you didn't even ask me.
Yep.
So let's get this out of our head that the idea is that everybody wants a chip, because I just don't.
No.
It'd be like going to the car yard for someone who really wanted a Porsche,
Yep.
and they go like, you got any Porsches here? And I go, well, we've got this Hyundai. It's like, let this person's worked.
Yeah.
And they want to enjoy the finer things in life or whatever it might be, right? It doesn't even matter. It's like, it's not even about price. It's like, let's just forget the price for a second.
But some people just don't know, yeah? Like,
Some
they
people
don't
want
do
the
plumbing,
best.
but people don't know. People don't deal with plumbing every day.
No.
Our clients don't deal with plumbing rarely ever.
Yeah.
So it's up to us to find out what their needs are and what they actually want.
Yep. And also what their needs are, and you're absolutely right, what they want.
Yep.
Because what I think the crux of this is, we're finding out a lot of people like, what are their needs and what do they need?
Yeah. Or
Not
what do
they
I
want.
think they need?
Yeah.
Or what do I think they want? That is.
The word is need, though.
Yep.
Some people just want.
Yep.
Like, you can buy
Yep.
something cheap if you want.
Yep.
And you don't need for anything. I think Tommy Mello was saying on a podcast the other day, it's like, you don't need a new phone every year. You don't need a phone at all, in fact.
Yeah.
Like, but
You
some
want
people
it.
want it.
Yeah.
You don't need Bose headsets.
Yep.
You don't need you don't need to fly business class. But it's like, some people just do want to.
Yeah.
Like, they want that. And
Yep.
sometimes it's because they got the cash. And sometimes it's because they have terrible back pain and they need to lie down during the flight.
Yep.
Otherwise, they're in horrible pain. And that's, to them, the value is there.
Yep.
So I think we have to reframe this idea that it's all about what the customer absolutely needs at this second.
Yep.
Give them what they need, for
Yep.
sure. Give
Every
them what
time.
they need. Economy should almost be what they need.
Need.
And then mid-range premium
Yep.
is probably some of the stuff that you want,
Yep.
That you
That you
mentioned
didn't
that
know about.
that you were not aware that you
Yep.
could have. I heard somebody say the other day, like, that they were doing really well selling people hot taps, and I was like, "What do you mean hot tap?" Like, hot tap out the front. Like, I go to people's houses, and they go, "Do you know I can just like? Have you ever thought about getting a hot tap?" I'm like, "What for?" Like, filling up the bucket, washing
Washing
the
your
car.
car.
I wash my car every Sunday. Are you telling me that I don't have to carry a bucket through the house?
From the laundry at the back.
How much? And like, oh, $300 or $500, whatever it was, right? It's like,
Yeah.
hell
Put it
yeah,
in.
heck yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like, that's every week I'm doing this.
That's
Are you
unreal.
serious? Like, and they don't need that,
Nah.
but they might want it.
That's right.
So offer it. And so, just to land the plane here, like, and bring this in for today. Foundation. Start to dress for the business you want, not the business you have. Start to set in motion the things that you need to do to make sure that your business succeeds, right? Second one, somebody is trying to get to you today.
Sorry.
Must be a sales tech coming
Yeah.
in. We are in the middle of the workday. And then foundation, sales training.
Yep.
Whatever, do you have a, like, we obviously don't recommend one particular, like, the sales
training.
Do you feel like the sales training, the best sales training, this is like, the best sales training is the one that you stick to, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, almost everyone's
You got to
good
create
advice.
a process, stick to it, test it, and implement it.
Yep.
Simple as that.
And if it works, then great.
Track it
Track
as
it.
well. That's
Yeah.
the main thing. If you can track it, you can work out where and fill the gaps.
Yeah. I think if you can get those foundations right, and then obviously pricing, but I think realistically, from today's conversation, you need to be setting up for a business that you want. So, like, get that foundation right. Get the people in the right spot so you can push past this 3 million mark. And as you said, sales training.
Yep.
Sales training is the key, because if you guys don't feel confident about selling, they're going to look for other jobs. They're going to look for other career paths. They're going to not feel fulfilled. If you don't make enough sales, you won't have enough profit to stay open. You won't be able to do anybody any help. You can't help the community. You
Burning
can't help
through
yourself.
leads.
You're burning through leads. You're also like, if you can't sell and you can't sell confidently, do you know what you do? You turn up at someone's house where they're expecting someone to sell them confidently. Then you don't fulfill that. If you're not confident, you're not trained, then they get cold feet. They don't go ahead, and then you just wasted their time.
Yep.
Because you couldn't articulate what you wanted to tell them.
Yep.
Right? So I think that's super important.
It is.
So I think landing the plane today, getting those foundations right, making sure things are going right, and making sure that you're building the business that you want, not the business that you have. Love to hear some feedback in the comments. Love to hear what everyone's doing. And last week, I know it's like cliche to say, but like 60% of people who watch the video last week are not subscribed. So make sure you subscribe.
Get on it. Come on.
Support the channel. Let us know if there's anything you want to hear of. And we really appreciate everybody that's watched. And thank you. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, team.
Thank you, guys.